All right, good afternoon, everyone. It is 2 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is the State Expedited Accusations calendar in the State Court of Fulton County, Georgia. I'm Judge Melanie Williams. At this calendar, we will address bonds for those individuals who have been recently arrested, but the cases have already been formally accused and bound over to state court. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of your case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to counsel today. As you can see, I'm conducting this hearing over the internet as a live stream. It's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Have all defense attorneys had the opportunity to speak with their clients? I'm
Yes,
gonna
yeah.
All right, good. Thank you. Are there breakouts requested for any positions?
Not
Okay.
for mine.
All right, hearing none. And what is my reset date, Ms. Strong?
It's July the 25th.
Thank you. Those who receive a signature bond will be reset for the notice. Those who receive a surety or a cash bond will be reset to state all purpose on the 25th. Let me find my Senate bill sheet and we are ready to begin.
Position number 7, Kim.
Oh, hold 1 second. Hold on. That's not it either. Where is it? All right, here we go. Now I'm ready. All right. Miss, and this is Kemp.
Correct.
All right, thank you. Your case is 24 CR 004670J. In this case, you're charged with theft of mislaying property. Do you understand your rights today? All right, Mr. Howard.
Kemp, 10th arrest, 2024 FTA 2021 simple battery DV conviction. He got a probation hold out of Clayton County and a current FTA in Fulton. And he's out on pretrial.
Oh, okay. All right, Ms. Desiano, please proceed.
Good afternoon, Judge. This incident took place on July 12th, 2024 at the Valero gas station at 5022 Old National Highway in College Park. The victim, Azani Reeves, advised her iPhone was stolen from the incident location. She left her iPhone at the gas station, came back about 20 minutes later to retrieve it, and it was gone. The gas station provided video footage that showed the defendant taking the phone. The gas station attendants immediately recognized the defendant as someone who frequents that gas station. The police later found her down the street at the Travelodge because she was wearing the same clothes that she had on at the security footage and did admit to taking the cell phone. Our office has not been in touch with the victim in this case, Your Honor. This is the defendant's 10th arrest since September 2020. She does have a pending open FTA and several recent arrests. The state's requesting a $500 good bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and if we could sound for Ms. Reeves.
All right, is Ms. Reeves present? Wishes to make a very brief statement? Okay, hearing none. Who represents this defendant? Is it Ms. Abden, Mr. Judd, neither of you?
Your Honor, this was a conflict. I think it might be Attorney McLeod.
Okay,
It doesn't look like she logged in yet, Judge.
okay. So unfortunately, we have to hold for that position. I wish I had known. Are there any other positions that are conflict?
Yes, Judge. It is
Let's
position
clarify that.
2.
Position 2?
Yeah, position 2, Greer.
Okay, is Ms. McLeod coming, Mr. Jordan? Do we know?
She should be logging on. I sent her the calendar and Zoom link.
Okay,
And I
so we're
talked
gonna
to her.
have to hold. My apologies, but I took good notes, but Ms. McLeod's gonna have to hear that anyway. Happy Saturday. All right, who do we have next?
ACDC can go ahead.
Has ACDC heard their rights?
We can go to position number 14.
Okay, thank you. All right, and that is Zanitra Zealous. Last name is Zealous.
Correct.
All right, your case is 24 CR 004673C. You're charged with simple battery family violence. You understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, first arrest, so we'll go straight to Ms. Simmons. Please proceed. Ms. Simmons, is this your case? If you're speaking, you're muted.
I'm sorry, Judge, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Please proceed.
Yes, I've been having some computer issues, so if you could just give me 1 minute to bring up my
All right, no problem.
my computer keeps going in and out. Yes, Your Honor. This incident took place on July 12th of 2024, and officers responded to a fight in progress at 752 McDaniel Street. And when they arrived, they spoke with Ms. Zealous, the defendant, who advised that herself and her daughter, Ms. Taylor Henley, had gotten into a physical altercation. Officers spoke with Ms. Henley, and Ms. Henley said that she and her mother had gotten into a confrontation which turned physical, and that her mother had in fact pushed her, and during the course of the fight, she had suffered several scratches all over her face. Your Honor, this state's recommendation in this case is a signature bond through pretrial service and no further violent contact with Taylor Henley, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol whilst on bond, and if you could sound for Taylor Henley. And the state has not had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Henley, who is a juvenile.
Okay, Ms. Henley is a juvenile. So I'm not sure we should sound. That may not be appropriate in this case. What is the relationship again between defendant and Ms. Henley?
Their mother and daughter, Your Honor.
Okay.
Ms. Henley's her daughter.
And Ms. Henley is her own daughter. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. What we're gonna do, Ms. Abden, do you object to the signature bond through pretrial?
No objection, Judge. I do just want to state on the record that she does deny the allegations as stated. It's my understanding that, the complaining witness is a minor. They're having some behavioral issues, and my client was not the first aggressor. Things just got out of control. She is requesting that from her family that the minor be stay with them for some time just to allow them to cool off. And so I would ask that she's allowed to return to her home, as she has two other children who are also minors, and we want to avoid uprooting them from their home and just possibly having the complaining witness live somewhere else for now.
Okay. I see.
Hello, if I could interrupt.
No, you cannot. You cannot. I'm sorry. It's a large calendar. This is Saturday. The best thing to do, there is a victim witness advocate on the line, or you can chat Ms. Abden. If there are, this is just a bond hearing. So if there are other proceedings that need to be conducted, it won't be today. Unfortunately, I do appreciate that you all are here and wish to contribute to this process. However, this is just a bond hearing, and as it is a misdemeanor offense, she's entitled to a bond. So if the victim witness advocate could please chat the family members, I would appreciate it. All right, defendant is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services. She's to absolutely have no further violent contact with the complaining witness. She's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and I am going to have her do a one-day anger awareness course. All right. Thank you all, and I do appreciate. I know that sounds harsh, but this is just a bond hearing, and I would ask Ms. Maldonado to please chat them if you would.
You
Thank
said
you.
level 1, right?
Level 1, yes. All right, best of luck to you, ma'am. That concludes your case. Who do we have next? Thank you.
Petition number 5.
All right. Ms. McLeod is here. Can we go back to Kemp?
Yes. Hold on a second.
All right, I've made Kemp aware of their rights, and I have already heard the history, but Mr. Howard, can you briefly recap it for Ms. McLeod?
Who is this? Oh, Kemp.
Kemp, yes.
10th arrest, 2024 FTA, 2021 simple battery DV conviction. Got a probation hold out of Clayton County and an FTA in Fulton. Most of his history is just driving. And he's already out on pretrial, so that's a bond surrender.
I'm a female.
How much is that bond surrender? I meant to ask that earlier.
My bad, Kemp. I don't know. Let me see. Is Kemp the one with 2 cases? Yeah, so Kemp has a felony case and Kemp also has a state court case. So
Okay.
yeah, he's gonna be definitely sitting on the Superior Court case because there's no bond with those. I'm not sure
Okay.
how much the state court case is.
Okay, understood. Thank you. Ms.
Okay.
Desiano, please proceed.
Your Honor, this incident took place yesterday at the Valero gas station on Old National Highway in College Park. Essentially, the victim was there getting gas, left. She left her cell phone there. She came back to retrieve it. It was gone. They checked the cameras and saw the defendant take it. The gas station attendant immediately recognized the defendant because she frequents that gas station. I believe she stays down the street at the Travel Lodge. They were able to apprehend her. She admitted to taking the phone. The state's requesting a $500 good bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the Valero, no
Hello?
weapons.
Hello?
No, please be quiet. Hold, please. Thank you. Continue, Ms. Desiano.
No weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. I believe, Your Honor, you may have already sounded for the victim, but just for the record, I'd ask you to sound for Ms. Reeves.
All right, is Ms. Reeves present? Okay, hearing none. Ms. McLeod?
Yes, Your Honor. I would ask the court for a signature bond for my client. I believe I heard pretrial say that she has a hold. So if she has a hold, she's not exactly getting out of jail immediately. So I would ask the court to give her a signature bond. My client tells me that this is a very close-knit neighborhood, and she picked up the phone because she thought she might have been able to locate the owner. When she was stopped by the police, she gave them the phone because she had the phone, and that the attendant at the gas station knew that she had the phone.
I'm considering the signature bond, Ms. McLeod, but if she has no bond, you understand that if any pleas are taken, she'll get no credit for this time she's sitting there anyway for this charge. You would still want her to have the signature bond?
Yes, because that's what she wants.
Okay, I'm considering it. I'm sorry, Mr. Howard. She had any other theft by taking in her history? No?
I don't see any.
No.
Okay. All right, defendant is gonna get a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. She's to stay away from that location, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, who do we have? Can we do Ms. McLeod's other case, position 2?
Yes, we can do it. I'm good. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good afternoon, thank you. All right, is this Mr. Greer, are you coming forward?
It's coming forward.
All right, Mr. Greer, your case is 24 CR 004665B. You are charged with battery. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
8th arrest, 2021, possession of a controlled substance. Theft by receiving, possession of a firearm during the commission. Those charges were dismissed. 2019, possession of a knife, firearm during the commission, that was dismissed. And a dismissed drug charge from 2016. 2014 simple battery trespass conviction. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, this incident took place July 6th of this year at the Walmart at 6149 at Old National Highway. The victim, Kashida Harris, is the defendant's ex-girlfriend. She was walking out of the Walmart and she was approached by her ex-boyfriend, the defendant. He asked her why he didn't have her new phone number. She kept walking and ignored him. He kept asking her questions about wanting to contact her. She kept ignoring him and walked to her car. And when she got to her vehicle, he punched her in the face, giving her a swollen lip. Our office has not been in touch with Ms. Harris today. Your Honor, he does have some history. It's quite old, from 10 years ago. The state's requesting a signature bond through pretrial, no further contact with Ms. Harris, a stay away from the Walmart, taking complete 1 day of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Ms. Harris.
All right, is Ms. Harris present? I don't see anyone with that name. Ms. McLeod, do you object to the signature bond through pretrial with the 1 day anger awareness and no contact?
I do not, Your Honor, but I do object to the stay away from Walmart.
All right. Defendant is going to receive a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, last name Harris. I am gonna order the stay away from that Walmart. He's gonna take the 1-day anger awareness course, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
Nothing
No.
from the state.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. And Ms. McLeod, does that conclude your business today?
I believe I have another person, Your Honor, Miss Zealous.
Oh, we did Ms. Ellis and
Ms.
Ms.
McLeod, apologies, Your Honor. That was a mistake. You spoke with her by mistake, and she was not supposed to be a conflict.
Okay, okay, no worries. Thank you. Well, that does conclude my business for the day. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Take care. Have a good afternoon, Ms. McLeod.
You too. Thanks.
All right, who do we have next?
We're gonna go to position number 5.
And this is Hubbard.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Hubbard, your case is 24 CR 004668A. You're charged with simple battery, family violence. And this is 2 counts here, and simple battery against a person who was either pregnant or 65 years old. You understand your rights today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Howard, please.
14. Last arrest was July 10th, Clayton County Battery DV, cruelty in the third, 2 counts. 2017 FTA and given false name conviction. That's it.
All right, thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, this incident took place on October 18th of 2022. Officers responded to a dispute at 2909 Campbellton Road, apartment 3C in Atlanta. The victim, Samantha Berthoud, advised that she and the defendant lived together at that time. She was 4 months pregnant at this time. She and the defendant got into an argument, and he pushed her and kicked her in the stomach twice. Our office has not been in touch with her today. I believe pretrial said he was arrested 3 days ago. There is an open case in Clayton County for battery, family violence, and 2 counts of cruelty in the third. Unfortunately, because it's Saturday, I couldn't confirm if that's the same victim or not. However, given his history, the state is requesting a $2,000 surety bond, $1,000 on each count, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, FVIP, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and if we could sound for Miss Berthoud.
Say the name again, I'm sorry.
I think it's pronounced Berthoud, Berthoud.
All right, is Ms. Berthoud present and wishes to make a statement? Hearing none, Mr. Judd?
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, Mr. Michael Hubbard is 31 years old. He's lived in Georgia his entire life. I do want to state for the record, he does not qualify for continued public defender representation, but we are representing him today for the purposes of bond. As I said, he's lived in Georgia his entire life. He's lived at his current address, which is the address on file, for approximately 10 years. He went through the 11th grade at Lovejoy High School here in Georgia, and he plans on getting his GED. He does live with family. He lives with his mother. His mother and his siblings all live in Georgia. He provides primary care for one of his children, that is his 4-year-old son. Your Honor, he has had a stable job for 3 years as an IT specialist. I believe that he hasn't had any FTAs in the past 2 years, at least according to the pretrial report that I read. Your Honor, he is okay with both the stay away order and no further contact order, but is asking for a signature bond. He denies all allegations. He does admit that they got into a verbal altercation, but then left the house and never returned. So he does deny any allegations of any physical contact. We're asking for a signature bond.
Defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, $500 on count 1, $1,000 on count 2. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, stay away from that location, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, and he's reset to the all-purpose calendar on the 25th. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right.
Nothing
Best
from
of
the
luck
bench,
to you, sir. Who do we have next?
ACDC, go ahead.
All right, who do we have at ACDC?
We can do position number 6, Mr. Jackson.
All right.
Hello,
All right,
is there anyone I can speak with?
Not yet, ma'am. Please hold. All right, is, Mr. Jackson, your case is 24 CR 004669E. You're charged with reckless conduct, obstruction, possession of marijuana, and failure to use a crosswalk. You understand your rights?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Mr. Howard,
Blunt, you know what the felony bond was?
15K,
10,000, 15,000.
5
Okay,
and 10.
okay. Two state court bench warrants he has now. Got an open case appear anyway out of Birmingham for public order crime. Possession of marijuana, drug paraphernalia. Open case in Fulton, possession of marijuana. It's 24 SC 001911. Open case out of state court for battery, cruelty to children. 21 CR 001915E. Another open case out of Superior Court, possession of marijuana with intent, loitering, prowling, 23 SC 1900960. Another open battery in state court, 22 CR 002409E. And he had a burglary arrest out of DeKalb County. That's it.
all right.
Your Honor,
thank
this incident took place on July 11th, 2024. Officers were conducting surveillance electronically in the area of 2640 MLK Junior Drive and 2456 MLK Junior Drive. While they were conducting surveillance, the officers saw the defendant make several hand-to-hand narcotic transactions in the parking lot. The defendant then went into the food mart, and when he exited, officers pulled him in order to do an investigative stop. At this point, the defendant started running. The officers ordered him to stop. He did not. He ran across the street without using the crosswalk. He pulled a gun out of his waistband and started running with his gun in his hand toward the MARTA station. He then attempted to scale a barbed wire fence to the MARTA station. And when the defendant realized he could not clear the fence, he threw his firearm over the fence, and it landed in the MARTA parking lot. The defendant was apprehended and had on his person a gram of marijuana. The state is requesting a $5,000 good bond on the reckless, a signature bond on the possession of marijuana, and the failure to use a crosswalk and the obstruction is fine. A stay away from the incident location, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while on bond.
All right, Mr. Judd.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Ahmad Jackson is 23 years old. He's lived in Georgia almost his entire life, about 22 years. Your Honor, he's lived at his current address for about half a year. He attended South Atlanta High School, didn't quite finish, but did get his GED. Your Honor, he has two children. They both live with him, and they both live here in Georgia. He does provide primary care for them. Your Honor, he regularly volunteers in his community. He helps feed the homeless and pick up trash all through his church. And Your Honor, I don't believe, or rather, he doesn't believe that he's had any failure to appears, though it sounds as though maybe he did through what pretrial stated. Your Honor, we are asking for a signature bond today. And then just on the record, Your Honor, while he's here, he doesn't qualify for continued public defender representation.
All right, thank you. Defendant's going to receive a $2,000 split bond, split as follows: 500 surety on count 1, 500 surety on count 2. On the possession, that's a 500 signature through the jail, and the failure to use a crosswalk is a 500 signature through the jail. So he has to make bond on $1,000. Because it's split, he'll be reset to state all purpose. As an additional condition, he's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. And stay away from that location. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
No, Your Honor.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. That concludes your case. Who do we have next?
I got 15,000.
Position number 11, Well,
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Webb. Your case is 24 CR 004674C. In this case, you're charged with reckless conduct, obstruction, and simple battery. You understand your rights? Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
Fifth arrest. These appear to be homeless out of Iowa. Last arrest was 2023 Iowa trespass conviction, 2023 assault on peace officer conviction, and a 2022 disorderly conduct NOLO. That's all.
Thank you. Miss Simmons?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on July 12, 2024 at 362 Ivan Allen Jr. Boulevard. On that date, officers were dispatched to Ivan Allen Jr. Boulevard with, with, with respect to a suspicious person. When they arrived, they saw the Atlanta Fire Department putting out a fire in a City of Atlanta trash can. A security officer at the location pointed to a black male who was later identified as this defendant and stated to the police that he was the person who started the fire in the trash can. Officers approached Mr. Webb and he ran off. Officers chased him on foot for a short period of time and then he was caught and placed in handcuffs. When officers checked the cameras in this when officers checked the cameras in the area, they saw the defendant walk up to the trash can and set it on fire. Whilst in the back of the police car, Mr. Webb started to hit his head on the window and sustained an injury. He was transported to Grady Hospital for treatment, and officers were told that by Miss Kirsten Zecker, a nurse who was working at Grady Detention, that while she was cleaning the wounds that Mr. Webb had self-inflicted, he got upset and used the back of his hand to hit her in the face. Your Honor, the state is asking for, with respect to count one, the state is asking for a $2,500 good bond. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol. And stay away from, well, there's no actual location, Your Honor. My apologies. Count two, a $500 signature bond through pretrial services, and on count three, a $500 signature bond through pretrial services. No further contact with Kirsten Zecker, and to stay away from Grady Hospital.
Right. I'm gonna sound for Miss Zecker to make sure she's not here, doesn't wish to make a statement. Okay, Miss Abton?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 28 years old. He has been living in Georgia for a few years. He moved here with family. He currently does have an address here in Georgia, and he's originally from Astoria, Queens in New York. He is employed. He works in landscaping. He's been doing that for a couple of months. He did obtain his GED, and I have no objection to the pretrial bonds on counts 2 and 3. But I would ask that Your Honor consider a pretrial bond for the reckless as well. It's my understanding he's recommended at a level 1 through pretrial, and that he hasn't had any FTEs in the past 2 years. We did speak briefly about the incident, Your Honor. He does deny the allegations. He stated it was a misunderstanding, and he was afraid in crisis, and it was a misunderstanding. So, Your Honor, I do ask that that you consider giving him a pretrial bond on all 3 charges.
Does he have a stable address
He does, Your Honor.
and a way to report to pretrial?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, defendant is, hold on, let me look at one thing. Have to check.
Yeah, this would be per judge too if you go with it.
I know, but I have to check. Obstruction, can't go to the jail anymore.
It's my understanding that pretrial would be okay, right, Judge?
It is, but if there are other factors to consider.
Understood.
All right.
And Your Honor, if I
Yes.
may,
Yes.
I'm not sure if when his criminal history was ran through, it was noted that he has 2 felony convictions, one for burglary in 2014 and one for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in 2022.
Did you see that, Mr. Howard?
No. Hold on.
Is that correct?
I don't recall.
It could be. Let me see.
that.
What was that in Georgia or Iowa? Simmons.
I am checking his criminal history now. But that is what I saw when I looked at his criminal history. Let me just make sure if
Very
it was.
different from what we heard, so let's check.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what? Let me see. He got an Alabama history. Let's see. What the world? Where's Millbrook Police Department?
Okay, here we go. Alabama. Yes, that was in Alabama.
Okay,
Burglary
I
in the
don't have
first
that
degree.
history, so that's probably
Oh,
correct. Let me see.
oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that was out of state. That was in Alabama. That was burglary in the first degree.
And what did
And
you see? You said burglary in first degree in 2022.
yes, Your Honor.
What
No,
was it?
in 2014,
Oh,
the
2014.
possession of a firearm by a convicted felon was in 2022.
What is the disposition on those, if I may ask?
The burglary in the first degree was a conviction, and the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, so the burglary was a conviction. And okay, here we go. There's another one.
Okay, I think. Well, let's see if we can figure out. That is
Yes,
important.
Judge. I'm sorry.
And-
My system keeps coming in and out, but I do believe that the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon was in 2022, and it was in, I think that was an out of state one, Your Honor. In, okay, here we go. Oh no, that's criminal attempt. Well, here it is. Oh, here we go. That's not it. Oh, here we go. I think that was, looks as if that was NPGJ, Judge. The possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. My apologies.
All right. All right. In light of the information before me, defendant is going to receive a $1,500 surety bond, 500 on each count. He's to stay away from that location, have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons. I'm not going to say that he can't return to Grady if he needs medical attention. He can, of course, go there for medical care. And he's to have no further violent contact with the alleged victim in this case, the nurse who was treating him.
And
All
Your
right.
Honor, apology, just for the record, I just, it was unclear if we had verified the information. It seems like pretrial did not have that information. And, you know, the bond factors state that, you know, you must consider the likelihood of committing another felony, not penalize him for a possible prior felony. And just so for the record, I would like to object to that.
Understood, and that was not the crux of my analysis, Ms. Apton, of
Understood.
course.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Judge,
Add on position number 1, Robbins.
Judge Williams, before we proceed, you said there was no stay away, or there was a stay away from Grady?
He can return to Grady for medical reasons only. All right, Mr. Robbins, your case is 24 CR 004678F. You are charged with committing certain prohibited acts in a transit station, obstruction, possession of a revolver by someone under 18, giving false information, criminal trespass, and theft by receiving. Do you understand your rights? All right, Mr. Howard.
This is third adult arrest. Got an open armed robbery, ag assault, possession of a knife or a firearm during the commission. Possession of a pistol or revolver by person under 18. It's 24 PI 00765. It's a number missing in there somewhere. Open battery DV, crew 10 and 3rd out of state court, 23 CR 006749F. That's a pretrial bond. That's it.
All right. Ms. Simmons, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to note for the record that it appears that this defendant already has bond for these offenses.
Okay, what's the current bond?
$5,000
total. Okay.
So it's a surety bond, $5,000. Well, it's $5,000 for each count based on my looking at the jail screen. So it looks as if it's a $25,000 in total.
Okay.
Actually, a $30,000 in total.
All right, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened at the MARTA station. I'm sorry, Judge. Just a minute. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said please proceed. That's okay.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on the 12th of July of this year at 541 West Peachtree Street, Your Honor, which is a MARTA station. When officers were called to the scene, they were advised that this defendant had opened the emergency gate at the station and had gained access to the station through the emergency gate. They were also advised that he had were also advised that he had been criminal trespassed from that location, and he had an active criminal trespass notation from MARTA, which was due to expire in November of this year. When officers approached him, he ran from officers, and officers had to engage in a pursuit before they caught up with him. When the officers did catch up with him, he gave them a false name of Demetrius Brown. And when he was searched incident to arrest, he was found to be in possession of a pistol. And when officers ran the information on the pistol, it had been reported stolen out of Peachtree City. In light of the fact that the defendant already has a bond, the state is not making any recommendation with regard to bond. We would just ask that the current bond be kept in place, considering his pending cases.
All right, thank you, Ms. Simmons. Ms. Apton?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client, Mr. Robbins, is 17 years old. He is living with his mom and his minor child. And he is currently getting his GED and also works at Burger King full-time. He firmly denies these allegations, and I do want to note for the record, although they are allegations, based on the warrant affidavit's description of said allegations differs from what was stated by the state. So for the obstruction, it's my understanding that he did not run away. The police is alleging that he just resisted, did not allow them to put cuffs on him. And Your Honor, I do understand that he does have a pending case. I also do represent him in the battery case in state court. I have his mom here on the line to support him as well. And I do ask that you consider reducing his bond, Your Honor. The family is not going to be able to afford the $30,000 bond that the state has been asking for that is currently set in his case. And since these are allegations at this time, Your Honor, I do ask you to take that into consideration. As if you look at the warrant affidavit, there's very little information. And it is my understanding that there were 5 other people present, and there's no indication as to who had the gun, where the gun was. And it's very difficult to tell what happened here with such limited information. And these are very serious allegations. So I do understand, Your Honor, we'll treat them as such, but I'm just asking for a reduction in the bond so it would be fair for his family to pay it.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Thank you.
Okay, the defendant is going to receive a $9,000 surety bond broken down as follows: 1,000 on count 1, 1,000 on count 2, the obstruction, 5,000, I'm sorry, on the possession, 500 on the false information, 500 on the criminal trespass, and 1,000 on the theft by receiving. Double checking my math, that should be 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He is to stay away from that location and comply with all active MARDIS suspensions. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons, including the subject weapon. Is there anything additional from state or defense?
Nothing from defense, Your Honor. Thank you.
What was that total?
9,000.
The
All right.
pretrial bond is 5,000, so that'll be a total of 14.
14, you gotta make 14. All right, understood.
In light of that, Your Honor, would you consider reducing the bond in this one?
Bond will remain as I just indicated, Ms. Apple.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But I do appreciate your advocacy, as I'm sure his family does as well.
Thank you.
All right, who do we have next?
Number 12, White.
All right, Mr. White, your case is 24 CR 004675D. You're charged with battery, disorderly conduct, and obstruction. You understand your rights today? You understand your rights?
You need to say yes or no if you understand or not.
Yeah, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Howard.
17 total. 2024 Semper battery shoplifting. Open case in the cab for Semper battery. Open Fulton burglary in the second robbery. Semper battery. It's 24 SC 000320. Says he has an active warrant out of Smyrna for failure to appear. 2024 shoplifting Semper battery conviction. 2024 battery no load. 2023 CWAC charge, misdemeanor. 2022 Semper battery conviction, probation violation. Another 2022 battery conviction. Another 2022 battery conviction. 2022 FTA. 2022 trespass conviction. 2021 trespass. 2020 Semper battery DV conviction.
All right, thank you, Ms. Simmons.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on the 12th of July, 2024 at the Skyline Laundromat located at 761 North Central Avenue. Officers were dispatched to that location because of a report that a female had been struck by someone identified as a black male. The officers were advised that the suspect, who was this defendant, was wearing a black shirt and brown pants. When the officers arrived, they made contact with a witness, who advised that the defendant had been seen leaving the location on foot and heading in the direction of Virginia Avenue. Officers then spoke with Miss Mariam Abdul Karim, who was seated on the floor where she had been knocked down by the defendant during the incident. She said that she had been loading money from her card into the laundry machine when this defendant approached her and struck her in the right side of her face and ear with his closed fist and knocked her to the ground. She stated that she did not know the defendant nor provoke him, and he did not attempt to take anything from her. She gave the officers a description, and they located the defendant, who was consistent with the description from both the witness and from the victim. The state is recommending, Your Honor, in respect of count 1, a $5,000 good bond, count 2, a $500 signature bond, and count 3, a $500 signature bond through pretrial services, both count 2 and count 3 through pretrial services, a 1-day anger management class, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol, stay away from the Skyline Laundromat, no further contact with Mariam Abdul Karim.
All right, is Mariam Abdul Karim on the Zoom conference? I don't see anyone. Ms. Hampton?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. White is 22 years old. He's lived in Georgia his whole life. He isn't currently working, Your Honor, and he recently became unhoused due to his mom moving out, but he did give me an address where he's staying currently and can receive mail. And so he will return to court. He's not a flight risk. I also noticed, Your Honor, he may have an FTA warrant out of Smyrna. And so I don't know if that is a hold or not, but if it is a hold, I would ask that Your Honor consider granting the pretrial bond at level 3 as recommended, so he can go ahead and go take care of the Smyrna matter. He does deny the allegations as stated. It's my understanding that he doesn't have any objections to staying away from the incident location, staying away from the complaining witness, and he stated that he does not know the complaining witness, and again denies the allegations.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, defendant is going to receive a surety bond as follows. It's going to be $2,500 on the battery, $500 on the disorderly, and $500 on the obstruction, for a total of a $3,500 surety bond. He's to have no contact with the alleged victim, Abdul Karim, and stay away from that laundromat on Central Avenue. Have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing else from defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right,
Nothing
best of
from the
luck.
state, Judge.
Next, it's position number 13, William.
All right, Mr. Williams, your case is 24 CR 004676G. You're charged with possession of marijuana less than an ounce with 2 counts of battery with the offense date of June the 29th. You understand, right?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Howard.
Williams, third arrest. Last arrest was July 1st out of Union City for battery, 2 counts, possession of marijuana. Got an open felony for obstruction, simple battery against police and public drunks, 24 SC 001426. 2022. Okay, yeah, that's the felony. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Simmons.
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on July 12, 2024 at 752 McDaniel Street. Officer Fan with the Union City Police Station was dispatched to 5115 Stonewall Terrace in Union City in reference to a physical dispute. When he arrived, he met with Lieutenant Nelson, who was also an officer with Union City. Officer Nelson advised that the suspect, who had been identified as this defendant, Brian Williams, was intoxicated and had attacked one of the Amazon employees that was working at that location. The officer made contact with a Mr. Baron Kemp, who advised that he was going to his vehicle while on break when this defendant attacked him out of nowhere. He advised that he fought back and defended himself. He told Officer Fan that he had never spoken to Williams at all. And the officer observed a visible scratch mark on Mr. Kemp's right elbow. Officer also was made aware of another victim who was Nashon Butler. Mr. Butler advised that he was also on break, sitting on a table outside of the Amazon warehouse when he saw Williams, this defendant, for the first time. He advised that this defendant walked back towards him and started attacking him by striking him in the face with a closed fist. The officer observed minor injuries on Mr. Butler's finger, and he declined medical attention at that time. If I may correct the record, Judge, the location is 5115 Stonewall Tell Road in Union City, Fulton County. Your Honor, the state is asking for, with respect to count one, a $1,000 signature bond, alcohol and drug evaluation and following a recommended treatment, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And on count two, a signature bond through pretrial services, and count three, a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with Brian Kemp and Nashon Butler, and stay away from 5115 Stonewall Tell Road, Union City. If we could sound for Brian Kemp and Nashon Butler.
Are either of those parties present and wish to make a statement? Okay, I'm sorry, Mr. Jordan, you said he has 2 warrants for the same charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so what do we do to fix that?
The state will probably need to
No, NOD 1. Okay, I just want to make sure that we take care of it so that. I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Abden.
Sorry. So, Your Honor, it's my understanding that they would need to probably re-accuse it, and he would need to come back on first appearance because he would need to be heard on bond for that, unfortunately. But I do ask that we do move forward on the other 2, and the state does enter an all pros for the one that is a mistake, if possible.
Is that possible, Ms. Simmons? I'm not looking at the booking screen. Let me see. Let me try to see if I can look at it myself.
So, Judge, it looks like the same officer had warrants issued at 5. It was 5 something in the morning. One set of the warrants were signed, and then the second set of warrants were signed later on that night. But it's the same incident and the same incident date.
Okay. So how do we fix it? The state would have, I guess you can't, you would have to accuse it and then no price, correct?
I'm just bringing up the case, no, because I do not recall. Yes, Your Honor, I'm just trying, what is the situation? And if there are 2 outstanding warrants for the same charge, then the state would have to null cross one of the outstanding warrants. Okay, here we go.
But you can't now press the warrant though, right? I think, right, Ms. Abden said it has to get accused and then,
Yes,
right?
we have to null cross that, not the warrant.
Your Honor, we may be able to NOD it before accusing.
Right,
It's not
okay,
already accused, we can NOD it. System.
okay,
Therefore, you don't have to null process.
okay, that works.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I'm sorry, Ms. Abden, please continue.
Okay, so Mr. Williams is 28 years old. He's been living in Georgia for 8 years. He's originally not from here, and he does live with his dad. He does work at Amazon, Your Honor. He works in the warehouse, and he's been working there since November of 2023. He does have his GED, and he He denies the allegations, Your Honor. It's my understanding that he was not the first aggressor, and he felt threatened. And so no objection to the well, actually, I would ask that Your Honor consider a signature bond through the jail, and if not, then accept the state's recommendation for a pretrial bond.
All right, battery can no longer go through the jail,
Oh, that's right.
consistent with SB 63. All right, defendant is going to receive $3,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 2 per judge. It will be 1,000 on each count. He's to have no contact with either of those alleged victims. Stay away from that location and have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. All right, is there anything additional? All right, best of luck. Best of luck to you, sir. Who do we have next?
Position number 3.
All right, Mr. Harris, your case is 24 CR 004666Y, in which you're charged with simple battery. Do you understand your rights today? Is that a yes? All right, Mr. Howard.
12 total. Last arrest was June 21st out of Houston, Texas. Evading arrest, detention, and criminal mischief. Got an open theft by receiving, possession of amphetamine, financial transaction, card theft. 12 counts. It's 22 CP 205999. 2019 probation, 2012 probation, 2011 carrying a weapon without a valid license conviction. That's all.
All right, thank you. Ms. Simmons, please proceed.
This is actually my case, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies. Please proceed.
That's okay. This incident happened July 11th of 24. Officers responded to a dispute call at 2420 Piedmont Road in Atlanta. The victim, Nathaniel Russell, advised the defendant struck him with a closed fist multiple times. The state is requesting a $1,500 good bond, no further contact with the victim, stay away from the incident location, 1 day of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol out on bond. And if we could sound for Mr. Russell.
Is Mr. Russell present and wishes to make a statement? All right, hearing none, Mr. Judd, please proceed.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Drill Harris is 33 years old. He has lived in Georgia for about 11 years. He has his GED. He lives with his grandma, or I'm sorry, his grandma lives in Georgia. He does have primary care of one of his children, it's a 7-year-old daughter. He maintains that he hasn't had any failure to appears, is not currently on probation or parole. He has no problem with a stay away order or no further contact. However, Your Honor, he does not have any bond contact numbers. We're asking for a signature bond today so that he can be out of jail. Because of the fact that he has no one to call to make his bond, any bond would be equivalent to a no bond in his case. He does state that he was jumped by several people and was simply defending himself. So we are asking for a signature bond today.
Defendant's going to receive $1,000 surety bond. He is to have no contact with the alleged victim and stay away from that location, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. That's a condition. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
All right, best of luck to you, sir. All right, who do we have next?
ACDC, Your Honor, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Has ACDC heard that right?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All defendants at ACDC, please pay attention. You have an absolute right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney today, and I am conducting this hearing by video. When I ask if you understand your rights, that is what I am referring to. Who are we going first to at ACDC?
You're gonna start with position 1, Miss Jaquita Edwards.
All right, Ms. Edwards, your case is 24 CR 00466648. Do you, in this case, you're charged with criminal trespass. Do you understand your rights? Is that a yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Howard.
Fourth arrest, 2019 simple battery DV, dismissed. 2019 FTA, 2017 ag assault dismissed. I think the booking sheet says homeless. That's all.
All right,
Well,
thank you.
jail was a recommendation.
All right, Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, this incident happened yesterday at 142 Dahlia Avenue in Atlanta. Essentially, the defendant's homeless. She was sleeping inside a vacant building. The state's requesting an SOB jail. No further contact with the owner of the property, Daniel Solly. Stay away from the incident location. No weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And this defendant has no prior convictions for criminal trespass. If we could sound for Mr. Solly.
All right, Mrs. Solly, are you present? Hearing, seeing none. Mr. Judd, any objection to an SOB through the jail? As
No
I'm
objection,
inclined to
Your Honor.
grant. All right, defendant receive a $4,000 SOB through the jail. She's to stay away from that location, have no contact with Mr. Solly, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Best of luck to you, Ms. Edwards. Who do we have next?
Next is position number 4, Ms. Hines.
Good afternoon, Ms. Hines. Your case is 24 CR 004667J. In this case, you're charged with battery. You understand your rights? All right, Mr. Howard.
Second, 2018 suspended license dismissed. It's level 1.
All right, thank you. Ms. Desiano, please proceed.
Your Honor, this incident happened June 28th, 2024 at the Aveda Institute, which is a hair school at 1754 Peachtree Street. The victim, Opal Myrie, is an instructor at that location, and the defendant is a student at that location. The student was late for an important appointment to do a client. She and the defendant and the victim had words. The defendant got upset and struck the victim in the face. The victim sustained a bruise to her right hand and an injury to her face. Our office has been in touch with her. She wants no contact, would like anger awareness and a stay away from the incident location. And she states that she is still having headaches from the event. The state's requesting a signature bond through pretrial services, no further contact with Ms. Myrie, a stay away from the Aveda Institute, taking complete 1 day of anger awareness, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond. And if we could sound for Ms. Myrie.
Is Ms. Myrie present? Wishes to make a statement? Mr. Judd, any objection to the state's recommendation?
No objection, Your Honor. I would simply like to ask that she be allowed to contact the school in order to get her transcripts. It's my understanding that she has since been ejected from that school. She would like to go back to a different school and have her credits count.
Okay, so does she physically need to go there, or can she make contact via phone, Mr. Judd?
Your Honor, I believe she's able to do that through phone.
Okay. All right, defendant is going to receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. She's to have no contact with the instructor. I'm sorry, what was the last name again, Ms. Desiano?
Myrie, M-Y-R-I-E.
M-Y-R-I-E, Ms. Myrie, and stay away from the Aveda Institute. She can make a call to arrange her transfer to another institution. Otherwise, she'd stay away from there. She's to have no alcohol, drugs, or weapons, and I am going to have her take the 1 day anger awareness course. Is there anything additional?
Nothing from the state.
And Your Honor, just for clarity, because I might have misheard, that was a signature bond?
Yes, through
Thank you, Your Honor.
pretrial at level 1.
Thank you.
All right. Best of luck to you, Ms. Hines. Who do we have next?
Next, we have position number 8, Ms. Mattis.
All right, Ms. Mathis. Good afternoon. Your case is 24 CR 004671J. You are charged with simple battery family violence. Do you understand your rights today? All right, Mr. Howard.
4 total. I saw 2016 out of Louisiana. Unlawful for any person possessing Schedule 4 and distribution of a Schedule 1. Dismissed. 2012 shoplifting dismissed.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, this incident took place on October 11th of last year at 806 Magnolia Way in Atlanta. The victim, Dana Shivers, is the defendant's mother. She advised they got into a fight and her daughter punched her in the lip. Our office has been in touch with her. She did say that they were tussling over car keys. She states that the defendant didn't hit her, but there was a tussle over the car keys and she got hit in the lip. Nonetheless, she would like contact and would like her to return to the residence. As pretrial states, I'm showing that her arrest history is old and none of it's violent. The state's requesting a SOB through pretrial, no further violent contact with the victim, no weapons, drugs, or alcohol while out on bond, and 1 day of anger awareness. And if we could sound for Dana Shivers.
She was here earlier, but I don't see her now. Ms. Shivers, are you present? I don't see her. Mr. Jett, any objection to the state's recommendation, which I'm inclined to grant?
No objections to the signature bond, Your Honor.
All right, defendant's gonna receive a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial services at level 1. She's gonna take the 1 day anger awareness course, have no further violent contact with Ms. Shivers, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons as a condition, and will be reset further notice. All right,
Thank you, Your Honor.
best of luck to you, Ms. Mathis. Who do we have next?
My bad, Your Honor. Position number, I'm sorry, I thought I took the mute off. Position number 9, Ms. Pelcher.
All right, Ms. Pelcher. Your case is 24CR004672A. You're charged with theft by shoplifting. Do you understand your rights? All right, Mr. Howard.
24, 2022 trespass conviction, 2019 trespass conviction, 2014 trespass conviction, 2018 simple battery DV no-low, and a couple of FTAs, one from 2015, one from 16.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Simmons?
Yes, Your Honor. This incident happened on the 15th of April, 2024. On that date, officers responded to the report of a shoplifting at the Dollar General located at 4894 Old National Highway. When they arrived, they met with one of the employees at the store who reported that several items had been stolen from that location. They said that they saw the defendant going through the store, gathering cleaning supplies and tissues. The items she then concealed in her pants under an oversized shirt. And then she left the store, passing all points of sale. And she was later seen to be getting into a vehicle and leaving the location. Officers were able to obtain a photograph of the tag of the vehicle, and through their investigation, they found that the car was registered to somebody who had a connection to this defendant. And the video clearly showed her wearing a black bonnet with an oversized white shirt, black pants, black shoes with white soles, and a tan tote bag. The vehicle was actually registered out of Tennessee, and the further investigations indicated that most of this defendant's relatives are in Tennessee. Your Honor, the state is asking for a $2,000 signature bond, Your Honor, through PTS, and a stay away from that particular incident location and from all Dollar General stores in the Metro Atlanta area.
Okay. Ms. Hanson?
Thank you, Your Honor. Just for the record, I just want to state that we are talking about a total of $19.75. And it appears that the tag did not return to my client. It returned to somebody else out of Tennessee. And I personally am a little confused about the connection. But as for bond, my client is 57 years old. She's been living in Georgia for about 30 years. She tells me that her adult daughter is going to move here soon too to be with her. So she does have strong ties to the community. She is currently employed at Church's Chicken. She's on the schedule for Monday. And so if she does not leave the jail. By Monday, she will lose her job. She does have her GED. She also has a variety of medical issues that make her being at the jail very difficult. And she does receive SSI for those disabilities. And so I am asking Your Honor to please consider a signature bond through the jail for my client, and she has no objection to staying away from the incident location.
Okay, let me check one thing, the history again. Okay, this is Pelcher.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Defendant's gonna receive a $3,500 signature bond through the jail. She is to stay away from that location on Old National, have no alcohol, no drugs, no weapons. Anything additional?
Nothing else from defense. Thank you, Your Honor.
What was the bond amount, Judge?
35
Through what?
through the jail.
Thank you.
All right. What about Miss Penn? No one has Miss Penn?
Yeah,
And go ahead.
all
Officer.
right. That is going to be a MH reset.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
ACDC can be excused.
Bye.
I believe that's the entire calendar, Ms. Strong.
Hello?
Ms. Shivers, we already addressed that case. We found it for you and you were not here. How can we
I was
help?
with a patient and I couldn't
Okay.
finish with him that quick to join. I'm at work.
Okay. How can we help you? We've ordered that your daughter can return and have no further violent contact with you. Is that sufficient today? Or is there something else we can help you with?
No, I was just trying to find out what happened.
Okay, well, that is what happened. All right. If you have additional questions, you can contact her attorney.
I'm saying, do she have a signature bond or a bond? What?
She did get a signature bond.
Okay.
But we really can't, we must move forward with the calendar. If you have more specific questions, please contact our attorney. All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
Take care. All right, Ms. Strong,
Okay.
will you review the calendar for me?
Sure. Position number 1 was a $4,000 signature bond through the jail. Position number 2 was a $3,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. Position number 3 was a $1,000 good bond reset. Position number 4 was that through pretrial or the jail for Ms. Hines?
Pre-trial.
Pretrial.
Yes.
Level 1, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Thank you. Position number 5 was a $1,500 good bond reset. Position number 6 was a $2,000 split bond reset. Position number 7 was a $2,000 signature bond through the jail. 8 was a $4,000 signature bond through pretrial level 1. 9 was a $3,500 signature bond through the jail. 10 was reset for Monday. 11 was a $1,500 good bond reset. 12, $3,500 good bond reset. 13, 3,000 through pretrial level 2. 14, 4,000 through pretrial level 1. And the add-on was a $9,000 good bond reset.
Any comments, changes, corrections, otherwise? If not, we'll be in recess until Monday's SCA. Take care, everyone. Have
Much
a good
better than yesterday.
Thank you, Judge. Have a-
Honor.
Thank
Mr.
you, Your Honor.
Howard, please stop. Take care, everyone. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.